Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is set for its release just 6 months from now by director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. That is all set and ready to end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is going to answer a lot of the burning questions from The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, as well as creating new questions in the beginning of this movie that will be answered toward the end of the film. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this movie, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of Kylo Ren inside of his chambers, listening to a transmission of Supreme Leader Snoke, talking about the discovery linked to the beyond that would lead one to eternal life. It said that in the transmission, the Snoke audio recording describes the use of all the dark temples located throughout all corners of the galaxy, including the unknown regions. It said that each dark temple required a device in order to work simultaneously, where once all the dark temples were activated, it would lead one to a bridge to the beyond itself, which holds the way to immortality. It's described that one of the reasons Snoke stayed in the unknown regions was searching for the last device to use on one of the dark temples in a star system based in the unknown regions that would offer a route to the very center of the beyond. It said that it was Snoke who discovered the key to eternal life through the dark temples and the devices they required. So let's go over a couple of parts about this, because we do know the whole entire Snoke and Vader dynamic is going to be touched on in The Rise of Skywalker to some degree, and it also explains as to why Snoke knew a lot about Darth Vader, if you guys have read some of the books out there, like the novelizations, etc. Now, what's really interesting is, of course, the Dark Temples. Now, it said that there are numerous Dark Temples located throughout all corners of the galaxy that require all of these different devices in order to activate them, and once all of them are activated, they work simultaneously to create a bridge that leads them to the very center of the beyond. Now, the beyond is said to hold the key to the origins of the dark side, that hence leads to the key to eternal life / immortality. It's one of the big reasons as to why Palpatine was on a quest to the unknown regions, and really searching for the beyond as well. Now, what's really intriguing about all of this is that in the transmission that Kylo Ren discovers of Snoke, it's described that Snoke is actually revealing in the audio recording to Kylo Ren indirectly that the last remaining Dark Temple that was not activated was over in the unknown regions. So now it's starting to make a lot more sense as to why Snoke spent so much time over there, and as to why he mainly wanted to stay in the unknown regions while he was building the First Order. It also does make a lot more sense as to why Palpatine had a great interest in going into the unknown regions as well. Now, from what we have been going over, Palpatine has been searching for the key to eternal life for a very long time, even since Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, from what The Rise of Skywalker is going to explain. After all, Palpatine is going to be a major player in this film, not just a mere cameo, and that's the great thing about this film, is that we are going to learn more about Jedi, Sith, and Force lore that's going to make the casual fans and the new fans alike very much interested in that mythology of Star Wars. Now, the one aspect of Supreme Leader Snoke that I find to be very intriguing is what we have been going over this past month, give or take, involving the whole Snoke and Vader dynamic. We heard about these Dark Temples before, of how Snoke offered Darth Vader the knowledge that Vader needed in order to seek for, of course, the key to eternal life, and this all started with the Dark Temples. Now, the Dark Temples serve as keys, or I guess you could say beacons, if you will. Once all of them are activated, it leads them to a bridge to the very center of the beyond. Now, from what we went over not too long ago, it's actually suggested that Snoke was born from the beyond itself. The very center of the beyond is where Snoke was created many years ago, hundreds of years ago. And that really tells us that this film is really going to deliver when it comes to Force lore. Now, was Snoke born at the very beginning of the Beyond's creation, or was he just born in the Beyond, is a big question open on the table for discussion. So the other piece that I do want to actually go over is how Snoke actually also had a lot of ideas about the Force. If you guys read the Last Jedi novelization, you will know that he found some Force powers to be very dangerous, such as knowing elements of the future being too dangerous, and hence he stayed away from that aspect of the dark side of the Force itself. It's one of the big reasons as to why he loves the perfect balance between both light and dark. It's why he views Kylo Ren as the perfect sculpture, as he said in the Force Awakens novel. So, moving on forward, what I find so interesting about the Dark Temples is that they are just touching on this now in the current canon under Disney and Lucasfilm, and now they're going to make it more well known in, of course, The Rise of Skywalker by director J.J. Abrams, Chris Terrio, George Lucas, in order to really provide the fans, heavy Force, Jedi, and Sith lore, to really make it feel like a mythology movie, if you will, that's more centered on that side of Star Wars. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, from night to moon, we hear them moans again.